Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dutiful Future here. Today we have the official 2020 US election conservative cringe compilation. I'm joined by my friend Cam. Cam, hello.
Good morning, America. It's time.
Good morning, America. It is time. What we have here today is a compilation of the largest amounts of copium, the largest amounts of cringe. It's 2016 all over again. The Trump fans are molding, they're crying, they're shitting and pissing, and we're going to be watching it and we're going to be loving it. Before we jump into that, just a quick word from our supervisor. Your camera's there, okay? And read that, please.
Okay. Do I speak into this?
Yes, that's a mic. Go for it.
Hello.
Go.
As you can see on the screen,
Yes, perfect.
basically no one who watches these videos is subscribed. So, if you like what you're watching, why not subscribe for more? And maybe like the video and comment too. Enjoy.
Amazing. Do it, please. Right then, I have a few categories on my computer. We've got copium, we've got online figures, news, not my president tweets, all of these things. So, let's have a look at the origin now. What we've got is sort of the Trump tweets. This is what sort of spawned the molding that we see online here. We've got the apps, the beginning of the memes. I won this election by a lot.
Yeah, in case we were confused.
In case anyone
It wasn't close. It was a significant amount.
by a lot. He knows he won by a lot. Boom. Where are the missing ballots in Georgia? What happened to them? This is where we see sort of the beauty and the dichotomy in conservative cringe. On one hand, we have stop counting, all these votes are faked, and then the other side we have where are all my ballots gone? Why aren't they being counted? I mean, it's almost as if they've stopped counting them. Who knows what's happened? Let's move on now to some pure copium cringe videos here. First off, get ready for this. This is probably my favorite one I've seen. This is a TikTok by a Trump fan.
Watch me until I can't breathe, shaking, falling onto my knees. I have so much more to say to you, so don't go. Your kisses.
Ditches by Shawn Mendes.
Exactly. That's what I thought when I saw Trump last. I thought Shawn Mendes. Look at this man. First of all, I love the Call of Duty in Infinite Warfare. Is that the poster there?
Infinite Warfare, yeah, the widely acknowledged to be worst COD game.
Yeah, literally. That's what I was gonna say.
Weird thing to be a fan of.
The worst one. I mean, that is the one about America invading space. So for a Trump fan, I mean, that hits home.
The America curtain that barely keeps out the light.
Yeah.
Well, it's even the point.
Yeah, and the Trump flag on his back as he cries into his hand. Beautiful.
At what point do you think he's just going for mega satire?
I don't know, but I feel like to have two flags, that an American flag and a Trump one. I feel like that's a bit much. I feel like that's not satire. Another one here, we have Trump supporters praying outside of a polling booth for them to stop the count.
Well, he is the ordained Lord and Savior of the US.
He is. Look at it.
So if Trump asks you to pray, you pray.
It's just so insane because these are the people where if they saw a video like this in I don't know, somewhere in the Middle East, they'd be like, oh my god, those crazy Muslim guys. They're actually outside a polling booth going, please stop democracy. It's too much.
Them crazy Muslims praying to their fake hokey god.
Now let me turn around and give Donald Trump some love. Here we have, you might have seen this video, barbecue beer freedom man. He was absolutely triggered. Basically, there's a news thing going on. They're announcing the count right, as you can see here, and he runs in the background.
The Biden crime family stealing the election. The media's covering up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media's covering up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media's covering up. We want our freedom for the world.
Don Biden.
And once again, the image. I mean, yeah, it's cringe, but the image of barbecue beer and freedom.
Yeah, I have to say, three things that I can actually get behind.
Same here. Those are things that I very much enjoy in life.
I feel like he's misrepresenting the barbecue beer freedom party.
BBF. Welcome to the BBF.
Yeah, don't judge all BBF lovers.
BBF.
Based off of this one guy.
He's a bad representative of the movement, the BBF. This is the type of reaction that everyone was like, oh, you'll never see the conservatives freak out like this. But no, we absolutely love it. Let's go for some online figures and their copium. So we've got a lot of different big names here politically. We'll start with Sticks, Axe and Hammer.
He is a libertarian YouTuber. He's been around for a while. Great name. When your enemies lie bloody and broken before you, know that I will be watching. The pathetic weaklings that compromise the GOP deserve to suffer. So this is just someone saying, like, the fact that they've allowed democracy to play out and then lose is bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what this guy looks like, but I have a very solid idea in my mind.
He wears like a really long leather jacket.
Yes, the duster.
Wears driving gloves in his videos.
Oh, does he really?
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
You're googling him now. He looks hilarious. So,
yeah, very much so.
Everywhere, sticks, axe, and hammer, he's coming for you. The man in his long leather jacket, plenty of space for his weapons, I'm sure.
It's like the weird, like, fake, edgy conservatives who are like,
yeah,
I'll cry when I...
Yeah, with me. It is another level. It's like
It's
you
like
can just
incel.
tell they all like think of themselves. They think they're the Joker. From
Yeah.
Joker.
Oh, they do.
I'm the Joker, baby.
They do.
That's what they all think.
We live in a society.
We do. They get what they deserve, and what they deserve is to not have a functioning election. 8 more
Women,
years.
women don't like me because I speak the truth and they can't handle it. That sort of shit.
Exactly. They know that us conservatism is the new punk rock. Did you know that? Did you also know that the right is getting better at comedy and the left's running scared? Ian Miles Chong. Ian Miles Chong is a online political figure, very right wing. He's from Malaysia. He's not from America at all. He doesn't live in America, but he tweets about America a lot. And he's basically a fascist. So let's see him before the election. All hopeful and lovely. If Trump was a fascist, he wouldn't need to hold elections. I mean, that's just logic right there. Famously, no fascist ever has ever been elected.
No. Hitler took it all by force.
Democratic, baby. And now let's see him post-election. Trump isn't going to concede just because the media declared Biden president, dum-dums. So, we've got... if he was a fascist, he wouldn't need to hold an election. Then we've got, don't worry, he's not going to concede this election that he's lost.
I'm more like just the term dum-dums.
And also, epic comeback there, dum-dums.
Dum-dums.
I do feel like a dum-dum at the absolute genius of Ian Miles Trump. Look at that man there. With a stoic stare as he looks down at everyone. And
that's actually his happy face. That's his smiling face. You just haven't seen his upset face.
You don't want to see his upset face. Right, here we have another bit of Ian Miles Chong here. Some pure copium. The Democrats may be claiming victory with Biden, but they are finished as a party. Pelosi's over. The party which won the presidency is over. Pelosi's done. She can't come back from this. How could you ever come back from winning an election? The absolute cope.
He's 2 steps ahead of us though.
He is. He's the biggest brain. He just knows. Now, less of a politics guy than you'd expect here. Keemstar. Keemstar has been very active in this. We have Keemstar here. They cheat. By counting the votes, they cheat. And here we have Keemstar. So what Keemstar is doing, he's talking about the election. And he's saying how it's not over. And then he's like, oh, here's how Biden's going to win. Here's how Trump can win, all the different ways. And then at the end...
The election is not over. The election is not over, and we are all doomed. We are all doomed. Do you not understand? And this is why. Donald Trump is not conceding the election. Then there are all these other steps. First, legal challenges, which you're seeing right now. Multiple lawsuits. It's going to go in front of the courts. The courts could throw votes out. They could say these votes are not legal. They could say the votes are legal. Donald Trump could lose during the courts or win during the courts. But Donald Trump still has to concede. And if he doesn't concede, then the Electoral College, which doesn't have to vote the same way the people do. So Trump could beef that up and win at that stage. But that's not it. Let's say they vote Biden and the Electoral College, right? And Trump still doesn't concede the election. Then it goes for a vote in front of the House of Representatives, and each state gets only one vote, and there are more red states that support Donald Trump than there are blue states, meaning he would win in the House of Representatives. And at any stage where Donald Trump wins this thing, now that Biden has already been announced the winner, we're all screwed. It's going to be a civil war.
Keemstar absolutely coping there. He knows better than everyone else that Trump can still win. If Trump goes through the 6 stages of something that's never happened, in which he doesn't concede the election, takes it to court, loses in court, manages to get it to the house, and then Trump in the house. It's a whole lot of copium. It's a whole lot of copium. We love to see it. We just love to see it. Right, Rave Dubin, otherwise known as Dave Rubin here. If you stand up and fight for what you believe in, you win in something more important than an election. Isn't that right, Cam? If you stand for what you believe in, and then you lose, that matters more than winning. Isn't that right?
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
It's more important for Trump, obviously the most ideologically consistent and moral man on the planet, to stick to his morals than to actually win this election. Something which he definitely cares about.
I think Dave Rubin just watched the film 300 and said that glorious sacrifices.
Trump, a muscle-bound Adonis.
Leonidas.
He will never kneel.
Trumpinitis.
He will not kneel. Tommy Lauren. Have you ever heard of Tommy Lauren? Whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Stolen election. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Sure it is, buddy. Tim Pool. Lefties are all salty. They don't get videos of crying conservatives. He can't spell. He means the lefties are all salty that they don't get videos of crying conservatives the way everyone else constantly mocks them for crying all the time. Well then, welcome to the Conservative Cringe Compilation. We'll see that that's not the case, Tim Pool. Don't you worry, buddy. Have you heard of the Liberty Hangout?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, the gun girl, Caitlin Bennett. I will never submit to a communist state, and I will never deny Jesus Christ is my Lord.
Where does Jesus Christ come into it?
I mean,
I know.
that's democracy, baby. If people vote for communism, then chill. Liberty Hangout are freaking out. They've openly said they're trying to infiltrate the libertarian movement and then turn it into really authoritarian, basically make them fascists, because that's what they are. Because they want they tweeted the other day, I'd rather live in a Christian authoritarian country than a liberal democracy. Next up, Nick Fuentes. Yep, white nationalist guy. We've got here some real powerful malding. This is not a loser party anymore. If we want to fight, we have to fight and seize victory. We have to follow Trump all the way and not give an inch. And here he's responding to... so Ben Shapiro was one of the only conservatives who were Trump has lost the election. Come on. And Nick Fuentes here has retweeted it. Never forget this tweet. Never forget who didn't stand with Trump. Never forget.
So, what? So saying that someone hasn't yet won the election...
Yeah.
And which is almost a call for people to keep voting,
Yeah.
Keep doing their thing.
He said, he's not already won the election. It's deeply responsible to say he has. And he's like, no.
This is a loser mentality.
We must never forget. This is a great clip here.
Right now, the benefit is the president of the United States just won 70 million votes in a presidential election. That's the biggest vote total out of any candidate in history, except for Joe Biden.
So what Joe Biden, it's time to celebrate. Trump has won the most votes ever, apart from the person he lost to. But the most votes. I don't know. They they can't handle it. They can't deal with it. Here we have Roosh, a really traditional conservative guy. Donald Trump is the Christian leader of my nation. The constitutional and rightful authority to me by God. He needs only to tell us what he wants us to do, and I will obey. And then subtweet below this from Captain Wrongthink. Trump's victory is stolen from him. He'll be remembered by all who support him in much the same way the Irish middle class did Parnell and is the hero. He was torn from his country, torn down and cast by the elites, whilst he was just fixing things. How insane is this? I just think it goes against everything the kind of American right tries to portray themselves as freedom-loving, anti-authoritarian, strong-willed, and this is literally I will suck the dick of daddy fascist if he tells me to. And he's hardly a Christian leader. I always find that so weird. It's I swear to God, anyone could stand, an atheist could stand in the Republican Party and they would call them the Christian leader.
I mean, Trump has had many women,
and he's openly said he doesn't really care about
Yeah.
It's just it's weird seeing the sort of the extreme religious fundamentalism you see in right wing, and how they lose one election, they're great Christian leader. He was ordained by God. They go right back to fucking monarchy. What we'll do is we'll have a quick look at some Not My President tweets. So this is sort of a genre of tweets along the lines of Not My President. So a nice simple one there. Preston Brooks, Not My President. And if we think back to it, back in 2016, the conservative, they were laughing, oh yeah, he is your president, whatever. I'm not going to bother watching Biden. He can say anything he wants. He will never be my president. He is compromised, illegitimate candidate. Proves the Democrats will vote for any breathing liberal.
No, the demon rats. I don't know if you've noticed this.
The demon rats. Oh my God.
Demon rats.
That's way better than I even realized. And then
that's-
finally,
that's good.
Gianna Caldwell, Joe Biden is not my president. First of all, what a bunch of bitches. Those demon rats, man.
Yeah, I mean, demon rats have been infesting the country for a while.
All those demon rats wanting rights for women and stuff.
Very demonic
God,
stuff.
What our amazing God says. There were these emails that the Trump campaign set out talking about, just like I predicted at the start, mail-in ballots will lead to chaos like you've never seen, plain and simple. The radical left is going to do whatever it takes. And then down here it says, I'm asking my fiercest and most loyal defenders like you to fight back.
Somewhat more funny calling like Joe Biden the radical left.
I know. That was the first email, a little bit desperate. But then if you want to see some real hunger, this is your final notice. So far, you've ignored all our emails. You've ignored Team Trump, Eric, Lara, Don, the vice president, and you've even ignored the president. Tens of thousands of patriots have stepped up for the very first time in the last 48 hours. Why haven't you?
Ben, we've got sniper teams outside your window. If you not comply, you will be eliminated.
If you don't get out there right now and defend your amazing president. How, insane is this? It's so desperate. It's so, sad. It sounds more like a breakup where it's I've called you 10 times all this time. You've not just ignored me.
My mum's called you. My dad's called you.
I tried to call your sister.
I called your parents. Your parents answered me.
You ignored my son, Eric. How could you?
Our son, Eric.
Oh god. But yeah, here we just see the Trump campaign is really not accepting it. They're really pushing for, hey, get out there and have some fun. Apparently they're finding votes everywhere. They're finding votes everywhere, all over the place, in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Michigan. So bad for our country. Everyone knows, Cam, what's worse for democracy is counting votes. And dead people are voting, apparently. They're
finding Biden votes all
Yep. Find them all over the place.
Some sort of mystery.
And then apparently dead people have been caught. They've seen them. They've been rising from the graves. Your great auntie Clarence is just raised. She's fucking raised herself back. And the one thing
because
newfound
she received an email. She received an email from the Trump team, and she was like, "Damn, what am I doing?
Shit,
better get out there."
Let down Trump. Quick one from the UK. Here is just an image of Nigel Farage having bet £10,000 on Donald Trump to win.
10,000.
Isn't it sweet?
Jesus.
Isn't it?
That can make a great meme template.
Here we have the 5 stages of grief, Cam. So we start with denial here. He fucking won. People saying, oh no, don't worry, he still won. Anger, if you voted Libertarian, I actually hate you. So this is the same thing when everyone was laughing about how people voted Green and it cost Hillary. Basically, if you vote Libertarian, you're absolutely awful. Then we've got bargaining, where they're talking about oh look, the line went straight up though. It can't be real. No, it's fake, even though that's how mail votes counted work. Depression, just them being sad and crying about it. And then finally, acceptance. There's no reason to resist now. That degeneracy has won. Where do I buy estrogen? A lot of the memes on 4chan and 8chan have been mandatory transitioning, mandatory pronouns. Which, if you know Biden, that's something he cares about. Yeah. Boom, 60 chess. You think Trump lost? 60 chess. Wait, Trump wants to vote the count? Yes, there's watermarks on them, and it's Chinese paper. And the watermark, and then they'll realize that they're fake because they don't have the watermark on them. And then it was the plan all along. Trump wants the vote to finish, but he's tweeting stop the vote so that the Dems have to take the opposing viewpoint and finish the vote because the Dems really wanted to finish the vote. And then Trump's going to win.
It would actually be hilarious if that was true, though.
Imagine if this was some sort of mega game play. But it's
this guy figured it out.
Someone on 4chan was like, I know. Here's a nice little QAnon for you. My QAnon podcast recently became the most viewed one. It got taken down for a bit by QAnon people spamming it. So Q is the person who started the movement, and he was meant to be in the CIA and was leaking shit. Anyway, if Trump loses, then Q failed. Since that is not possible, there is no way Trump can lose. Which, flawless logic.
So Q is also ordained by God.
Exactly. You understand now. They're fighting against the satanic pedophile cult. Q can't lose, so Trump can't lose. This is a great one here. Another big brain Trump play here by ex-Democrat Patriot. Trump has 88 million Twitter followers and about 69 million votes. Biden has 13 million Twitter followers and 72 million votes. Isn't that interesting?
True, you do vote based off who you follow on Twitter.
Checkmate, liberals.
And being president doesn't get you more followers.
No, of course not. How could it? And I like his tag is @centrist all the way.
Yeah, he's not the biggest centrist.
No. He could be. This is like the enlightened centrist stuff, where it's like they're so centrist. They don't have political positions. They just want to be in the middle of whatever happens. So when the Republican Party goes fascist and the Democrat Party goes like center right, they need to be only kind of fascist because they have to be the center. They're the true neutral. They just want a grill cam.
I see. I'm enlightened.
It's gonna be a weird time because like these Trump people aren't gonna go away. They're still going to be moulding for ages. It's never going to end, really. We've been joking quite a lot, we're messing around, but like we've already had MAGA mobs. They try and break into the count halls. They try to storm the count, screaming, "Don't stop the vote" or whatever. Philly police investigating alleged plot to attack Pennsylvania Convention Center. It's all getting a bit wacky, and it's all a bit serious. Let's just round it up here. This really sums it up for me.
That might actually been the most iconic moment in 2016.
Exactly, and now we can relive.
He's been you one of those. It's just cringe.
It's just
He's
cringe.
just cringe.
Hence why Conservative Cringe Compilation Election Edition. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you've got more cringe you want to show us, throw it in the comments. Tweet at me @JewsOfTheFuture. But no, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed some conservative cringe here. There's plenty more out there. I recommend everyone have a look. Twitter account you should check out is MAGA Cope. Or Cope MAGA, I can't remember what order that is, but they're sort of compiling a lot of this stuff, and a couple of things from here I found from their accounts, so shout outs to them. The link will be in the description. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed.